Okay guys, in this second kinematics video, we're going to continue talking about the two concepts we introduced last time. That was displacement and velocity. And we're going to extend that conversation by looking at something called position time graphs. So maybe just really quickly at the outset here, let's just kind of remember that we have displacement, which is abbreviated delta x, and that's equal to x final minus x initial, that's displacement. And that we then had also velocity, which I'll abbreviate with the letter v, and velocity is equal to the displacement delta x over the total time t. So these were our definitions, our core definitions. Maybe I'll just go ahead and highlight those so that we can remember what those are as we move through this video. Displacement and velocity. So let's think about the following example just to make a position time graph and talk about what those are. So let's again imagine that we've got some road here. Here's the road, just like we did last time. And as we did last time, we're going to imagine that this road is an x-axis. So this is again an x-axis. I'm going to write that slightly differently here. So this is an x-axis, and we're going to call to the right the positive direction again, just to make life easy. And as we did last time, we'll have you, here you are, we'll have you start here at x equals 0 again. So here you are, and we're going to have you moving as we did last time. So x equals 0, that's where you start. And what we're going to have is you're going to move in the positive x direction, and you're going to move to a final position of x equals 10. And that time, to go from 0 to 10, I'll call this t1. t1 is going to be 2 seconds. So you go from 0 meters to 10 meters, and it takes 2 seconds. You're then going to, when you get to that final position, you are going to, and I'll do this in a different color here, you're going to, once you get to that point, you are going to stay put. So you're going to just kind of hang out here. You're going to stand and not move for a total t2 of, let's say, 3 seconds. And then after hanging out for 3 seconds, now I'll pick a third color. You're going to now move in this direction. You're now going to go, you're going to run now back in this direction, and you're going to end back here. So x final will also be 0. And this time, we'll call that t3, is going to be, let's say, 5 seconds. So we have essentially 3 legs of the journey. Just to explain it again, you start here at x equals 0, and you run in this direction going 10 meters in a total of 2 seconds. That's leg 1. The second leg is you're just standing here, not moving for 3 seconds. And then you're going to move back to your starting position, x equals 0, so in the negative direction, and that third leg of the trip takes 5 seconds. So what I want to do now is imagine what this would look like if we made a graph of it. So maybe I'll just put it up there, and I'm going to make some axes here. We could imagine that we have on the vertical axis here, we could have position. So I'm going to label that x. I don't want you to get confused. This might seem strange that on the vertical axis I have x rather than y. This is just the position axis. And now on the horizontal axis, I'm going to have t for time. So this is what we call a position time graph, because it graphs position, as we can see here. It graphs position as a function of time. So position is on the vertical axis and time is on the horizontal axis. So maybe I'll just write this out. This is what we would then call a position time graph, xt graph. Oh, I don't need that extra t there. Xt graph. All right. So referring to our example, we'll start off with this first segment. Well, in the first segment, I started at x equals 0. That's here. This is x equals 0. and I moved from x equals 0 up to x equals 10, x equals 10, so that was, sorry, x equals 10. So I went from 0 to 10, and that took me a total of 2 seconds. So we'll call this 0 seconds, and we'll call that 2 seconds. And that means that after 2 seconds, I was up at 10 meters, and I can now connect the dots. So that would be the first leg of my journey, which I had color-coded in blue. And then the second leg was I was just up here, remember, for 3 seconds, and I wasn't moving. So from 2 seconds until 5 seconds then, because this total time here has to be 3 seconds, so from 2 to 5 is 3 seconds, I didn't move. So that means at the end of 5 seconds, I'm still here at x equals 10, so I just draw a flat line like that, because my position doesn't change. And then for the third leg of my trip, remember that was this here, for 5 seconds I was moving back to the initial position. So that means that I'm going to start now for the third leg at 10, I'm going to end at 0, but it's going to take 5 seconds, so that means I don't end until 10 seconds. So now I just have to connect these dots. So that would be a very simple position time graph, a graph of the position as a function of time for this little very simple 3-leg journey. Now, some things we might observe that we could talk about. So let's, first of all, you might notice that the line here has a slope. It's a positive slope. The line here has no slope. And then the line here has a negative slope. Now, what does that mean? What does it mean that the slope here is positive, the slope here is 0, and the slope here is negative? Well, it might have occurred to you that that relates to the direction of motion in our example up here. In the first 2 seconds, I was moving in the positive direction. We might say that I had a positive velocity. I was moving in the positive x direction. In the second segment, I had no velocity, and the slope was 0. In the third segment, I was moving to the left, which is the negative direction, and the slope was negative. And indeed, what we will find here is, and I will just sort of tell you this, and then I'll maybe show it to you in some more detail, on a position time graph, the slope is the velocity. So I'm just sort of asserting that, and maybe I'll try to convince you of that if you are inclined not to believe me, but the slope is the velocity here. So in other words, if we were to look at this right here, this slope here, what is it? Well, it's rise over run, so that's 10 over 2, or positive 5 meters per second, which, if we go back to the example here, that makes sense, because my definition of velocity is delta x over t, and the delta x was positive 10, and the time was 2, which does indeed give me positive 5 meters per second. The slope here should be 0, so the slope here should be 0 if what I'm telling you is true, because I wasn't moving. The velocity was 0, so the slope should be 0. And then finally, this segment right here, the slope should be, what is it going to be? Negative 2, because I have a displacement of negative 10 and a time of 5, so negative 10 over 5 gives me negative 2. So how can I try to convince you that this is true? Well, let's just remember again, I sort of mentioned this moments ago, but I'll just remind you that slope is defined as the change in the vertical axis, what we usually call delta y, over the change in horizontal axis, or the delta x. This is the so-called rise over run. But in my case here, in this particular instance, my vertical axis was position, and my horizontal axis was time, so that means the top turns into delta x, and the bottom turns into delta t. Again, my horizontal axis is time, and my vertical axis is position. So, well, what is delta x divided by delta t? Well, that is defined as the velocity. This is the velocity. So the slope indeed is the velocity. That just comes from what we had written earlier. So that's a very quick, brief introduction to what a position time graph is. We'll be doing much more practice with these later.